Hey everyone, Eric here from CodeCarrot.org coming to you podcast style. So I was getting a little tired of seeing myself in video, so I thought I would do something a little bit more audio-based, and we're going to talk about Unity versus Unreal. These are game development suites. They come with editors and runtimes and all of the pieces that you need to make a game, like audio, rendering, networking, AI, vehicles, players, all kinds of things that you need to make a game, pulls them together into one package, and Unity and Unreal are probably the two most popular. Okay, so if you're going to make this decision, know that there's so much more to cover than what I'm going to cover here. Go to Google and type Unity versus Unreal if you really want to get into it. Limit your search to the last 30 days because things change very, very quickly in this space. These companies are very competitive. I'm going to cover some topics from my experience, and I'm going to start with licensing. Okay, when it comes to licensing, Unreal is very straightforward. You pay nothing up front, and then you pay 5% on any revenues you make. Unity, a little bit more complex. They do have a free personal version that doesn't have all of the features, has most of the features, but it doesn't have all of the features. But the problem with the personal license is that in a high school space, a high school doesn't qualify for that personal license. So Unity, it does offer a grant program that you can contact them. I'm not sure exactly how it works. And then they also offer educational licensing. So because of the simplicity of Unreal, and the reality is most people don't make money on their first game, so their royalty isn't really a consideration, I'm going to go with Unreal on this one. All right, programming languages. So in Unity, you're going to work at a higher level. You don't actually get into the guts of the engine, which is written in C++. You use the higher level language like C# or JavaScript. And personally, I really like C#, and I think most of the game industry tends to use C# when they use Unity. Now, on Unreal, they have a higher level called Blueprints, which is a visual programming language. In my experience, when a game gets to any reasonable level of complexity, Blueprints gets pretty messy, and it's not really meant for programmers. It's meant for designers. The programming that you do in Unreal is done in C++. It's a more powerful, faster language than C#, say, for example, but it's much steeper learning curve. So because of the learning curve, I'm going to give this one to Unity. The asset stores. When you have the asset stores, you're going to be able to get things like additional audio, additional models, characters, even features. So really, again, for your beginning games, both are really good. I'm going to call this a tie, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a personal bias here, but I have a little bit more experience in Unity. I couldn't believe we just got done finishing a couple games and used Unity, the asset store. I kind of felt like I was cheating because the prices were so low and the features were so good. But really, if you go online, people will tell you about both being very sufficient, great places to get assets to make your game. That's a tie. Rendering. All right. In the industry, we consider Unreal to be higher end rendering. Unity's added a lot of features lately, so it might not even really be fair to consider that, but historically, that's the way we've seen it, and there certainly are a lot more examples available of Unreal rendering. But here's the thing when it comes to rendering. Both of these engines are sufficient. And the thing that's going to limit the visual quality of your game are your availability to art assets, not the underlying technology. So this one, I have to call it a tie. All right, finally, min-spec requirements. From my experience, Unity is a little bit more forgiving on my computers. But when I use Unreal, the fan kicks in a little sooner, seems to be a little bit more sluggish on lower-end machines, and Unity seems to be a little bit more forgiving. So if you're in a school environment and you don't necessarily have a beefy machine, then I would go with Unity. Test them both out to find out for sure, but typically what I hear back anecdotally from people is that Unity is a little bit more forgiving. All right, that's it. So bottom line here, honestly, I know I've given more advantage here to Unity, but use both. If you learn both, you're going to be better at the game industry, at making games and understanding what's going on under the hood. And both for beginners are great in terms of having all of the features that you need. So really get out there, make games. You're going to be able to find work and jobs, and both of these, both Unity and Unreal communities are looking for developers. So both are great choices. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy making games, and I hope you have a lot of fun. And whatever you pick, stick with it. Hey everyone, Eric here from CodeCarrot.org. Thanks for watching our video. If If you haven't already done so, go to our site and check out all of the other videos that we have about computer science and game development. We're making new content, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up with all of the latest things that we're making. Have fun, keep coding.